Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone here to the Town of Stellarton public hearing here at the council chambers at 5 p.m. on October 15th, 2024. I'd like to call the meeting to order. The agenda is in front of us. Any changes or additions to the agenda? Hearing none, can I have a motion, please?
Second.
Moved by Councillor Pence, second by Councillor Wand. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary minded. Motion carried. Nancy, thank you. The first item of business is donation of land to Stellar Memorial Community Center Association, 103 Stellar Street. Is anyone who would like to speak on this item? Okay. I think we. So with the council for second and final reading, we've reviewed this before in the past and talked about. Is there any questions or comments? If not, can I have a motion, please?
I'll second it.
Moved by Councillor Wand, seconded by Councillor Pence. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary minded. Most carried. Nancy, thank you. So we'll move on to item 4, intermunicipal planning strategy, secondary planning strategy and uniform land use bylaw. We'll have our planner Roland speak to that.
Thank you, Your Worship. That's on now, is it? Or? Yes. Okay, good. So I guess just for everybody's benefit, councillors, the folks in the audience, the media, I'll just give sort of a quick little, I guess, background as to where we are. Back in 2016, the 5 towns of Pictou County adopted an intermunicipal planning strategy and land use bylaw. A little tongue-tied for some reason. So the towns of Stellarton, Trenton, New Glasgow, Westville, and the town of Pictou, not the county, adopted common planning documents between the 5 of them. Around 2021, it was decided that we'd start doing a review. Over time, we had heard for a little over a year ago that the town of New Glasgow decided that they were going on their own. And for timing reasons, the town of Westville has decided to go on their own as well. And I just want to make it clear for everybody, it's not that there was any animosity or anything like that. Everything was fine. It's just that the two different towns had different schedules and just wanted to go things alone a little differently. So, and that's fine. So currently, the towns of Stellarton, Trenton, and the town of Pictou have been involved in this plan review process over the last couple of years. So we advertised for this public hearing, which is required under the Municipal Government Act. And we also held public information and open house sessions back in June. We had one in each of the towns of Pictou, Stellarton, and Trenton. We had a turnout, I would say maybe a half a dozen people from Trenton. I think Pictou had the biggest turnout. They had about 25 or 30 people overall. But Stellarton did have a few people up at the seniors building next to Allen Park. So I guess I'll just go over some of the major highlights, and I believe everyone has a copy of the proposed zoning map that was distributed earlier. To be perfectly honest, not a whole lot is changing from the status quo as far as that goes. Neither are the documents themselves, but I'll go over, I guess, some of the more pertinent areas that people should be aware of. We found with the existing documents there were a lot of contradictions and inconsistencies between the policy section, which is the planning strategy, and the land use bylaw itself. There were places where the policy and the regulations didn't quite mesh, and like I said, at some points they were even in contradiction to each other. So we kind of went through them with a fine-tooth comb and got those straightened out. We are adding, not in Stellarton's case, but we have added a new residential zone called the R6, which will allow for the development of tiny homes. Those are homes with main walls of less than 20 feet in specific areas in the towns. Now, Stellarton has not indicated that they want to see an R6 zone in the town here yet, so they won't. It's not, unless a future council decides to amend the bylaw, then for now the R6 won't exist. The other 2 towns, Trenton and Pictou has adopted a couple of R6 zones, but they will also be allowing tiny homes on existing undersized lots. So if there are lots are staying in R2 and they're between 3,000 and 5,000 square feet, then tiny homes will be permitted on those. In terms of site plan approvals, the Municipal Government Act requires that we have a 100-foot or 300-meter minimum distance for notifications of budding property owners. It's being recommended that the current 200 feet that we require go back down to 100 feet, which was the same minimum. It's the same distance that we use for variances. So notifications still go out, but just to residents within 100 feet as opposed to 200. In terms of the zoning, I'm just going to put my glasses on so I can have a better read through the map. The current zoning map in Stellarton is very similar to this. There are just a couple of minor areas where we're looking at making changes. So in the downtown core, you'll see that sort of bluish area where it says C1. Currently, we have actually two zones in the downtown area, a C1 and a C1A, a downtown core and a downtown commercial. That really came out of what had previously existed in New Glasgow before the current planning documents. Thought we tried two. The only difference being was the cash in lieu for off-street parking requirements, but both the other towns as well found there's really no need to have the two zones, so that they're just being put into one. So that we're going down to one downtown zone, just the C1. There's also a few changes on North Ford Street. We're looking at implementing a C2 neighborhood commercial zone. Mostly around the development around the Quinn development, you know, the 5 commercial units and 10 above. He's looking at expanding to the corner with a couple more units. So we're looking at using a C2 zoning there, as well as along the other side of the street. Now the C2 zone, just so everybody knows, allows single unit dwellings as of right. So if they're an R2, which some of them currently are, or a C2, it doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to be made legal non-conforming use or anything like that. They will remain with the status of being a conforming use under that zone. So no real need to worry there.
So, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
What if about in the future, would that remain, whether the owner changes, whether that goes from an R2 to a C2, can it go back from a C2 to an R2? How does that work?
That would be, Councillor, that would be up to the council of the day. If somebody wants to put forward an amendment to the plan, to the zoning map, then it would follow the regular amendment process that's required under the Municipal Government Act.
So what you're saying is right now everything remains the same unless anybody wants to change something in the future? They have to come through us?
That's correct, yeah. Everything remains the same. And I guess I just wanted to make the point about the fact that single dwellings and double dwellings, actually any use that's permitted in the R2 zone is permitted as of right in the C2. So they don't lose any status. If anything, they could gain a little bit of status to do with what they could do with the property. So it's not they're going to be zoned out of illegal use or anything like that. I guess the other area which we're looking at upzoning would be the R2 area. These are the undeveloped lands south of Acadia Avenue and between the old Foxbrook Road and the boundary with the town of Westville. Those are currently zoned R1. However, we're proposing that it be zoned R2, which would allow for single and double dwellings as of right. Incidentally, just for everybody's information, the area that's located around Valley Woods and that whole area there is already zoned R2. So that's gonna keep in basically keep that uniform. Just seeing if there's anything else that comes to mind. Oh, there's 2 residential properties located behind what's about to be the former Department of Mines building. Those used to be in the CRA, it used to be the FRA, a future redevelopment area. We're getting rid of the future redevelopment area. We're just making the area behind the properties on North Ford Street into recreational and institutional. And the two dwellings there are just going to an R2 zone, which again fits the use that is there. So I guess that's pretty much, sorry, Jack, yep.
Okay, so we're talking on Acadia, right? On Bridge,
Bridge,
sorry, on
yep.
Bridge.
Yep.
And what is it now? That building is going to be what?
Okay, so the Department of Mines building
Yeah.
is in a C3, and that's staying, so that's gonna stay highway commercial,
Okay.
okay? Do you see the little green rectangle behind it? Or above it, I should say?
30 and 28?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
So there have been two residents that have been there for a number of years.
Yeah.
They have been under the FRA, and since we're getting rid of the FRA, it's recommended that they go to an R2.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. I guess, Your Worship Council, those are the biggest, I guess, points of the change to the planning documents. I don't know how you want to handle it, Your Worship. Maybe if council has any questions, then we can open it up to the public.
Any questions from council on the Roland's presentation?
No, the only question that I have is how does that fit now with the conversation that we have had in the past about approving?
So at the Committee of the Whole meeting that was held on September 23rd, council had agreed in principle to consider Granny Suite as an in-law suite of a mobile home at 48 feet, one bedroom, 2015 or newer, approved builder, concrete base, or a jack, what was that term?
Screw jack.
Thank you, screw jack, with no skirting, and it cannot be used as a rental or an Airbnb. So those were the conditions that council had agreed to in principle at the, so if council agrees to that, that can be approved at the council meeting with the second and final reading of this LUB.
And to Roland, you were saying something about 48 feet being a proportionate of some sort? I saw your email. Do you remember that the email?
I'm sorry, the 48 feet for?
48 feet for the mobile home.
Oh, yes, okay, yeah, that was.
Can you can you speak to that, please?
That's right, the 3-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, 3-to-1 ratio.
That's right, yeah. So the definition of mini homes in the land use bylaw is that it's any building that exceeds a 3-to-1 ratio width to length. Most of the mini homes, pretty much all of them, are 16 feet in width. So it's just a matter of the 16 multiplied by 3 will get you to 48.
Okay.
So that will sort of keep it out of the definition of a mini home.
Okay.
And just, I mean, these things are evolving all the time, and I only raise this because it's fresh in my mind. I was on the phone this afternoon from my house with a gentleman up in Trenton. He also wanted to put a mini home on an R2 lot. Wasn't allowed to, but then what he decided to do is actually attach a garage to the front of the mini home, do something with the mini home itself, and now he's able to get a main wall of more than 20 feet because he's going to have the attached garage. So these things are always sort of evolving. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So just one last question. So those were recommendation. Is the land use bylaw going to be updated with those recommendations once we approve them? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Is there any comments from the gallery? Does anyone want to speak to it? We okay?
You have to come to the mic and state your name and address, please.
Thank you. Kayla Kyle from 427 Auburn Avenue. I'm just questioning the one bedroom and kind of where that came from, and looking just for some explanation around that.
So, if I may, during a public hearing, you can state your case. Council doesn't typically interact.
Okay.
But you can explain why you want more than one bedroom.
Okay. I mean, I can I think everyone here is aware of our situation, so I won't repeat the whole thing, but really the plans we were looking at are a 51-foot with a 2-bedroom, but we were hoping that the amendment could be that it would be a 1-bedroom plus a den or office, not necessarily using the second bedroom as a bedroom and using it for more of a living space.
Okay.
If I can ask Roland to come back, please. Roland, if you can provide us with your thoughts on or experience or expertise from different municipalities about the difference between 1-bedroom, 2 bedrooms, or 1 bedroom with a den, or does it even include that kind of requirement?
Yeah, I'll look up the requirements now. Usually these things are meant to accommodate, I guess, one extra person living on the property. So that's why they typically have the 1-bedroom. I'll just dig this up here. I just put it on my phone today. So I'm just going to go to the definition and see if that tells us anything. Usually find when we go to definitions, it's usually the best way to get to the answer for this stuff. All right, so we're talking about garden suites and garage suites, and the current definition says garage suite means a secondary suite, so one secondary suite within or attached to a detached garage on a site with a single detached house, with separate cooking, sleeping, and bathroom facilities, and with a separate entrance from the vehicle entrance to the garage by a common indoor landing or directly from the structure. A garage suite precludes the existence of any additional secondary suites, mini homes, mobile homes, or similar structures. And a garden suite means a single-story secondary suite that is accessory to but detached from the principal single detached dwelling with some separate cooking, sleeping, and bathroom facilities. A garden suite precludes the existence of any additional secondary suites, mini suites, mobile homes, and similar structures. And mini homes cannot be used as a garden suite. So that's where the rule says that you can't have a mini home, mobile home, or a similar structure to be used as a garden suite. I'll just go to the regulations concerning garage and garden suites, and I'll let you know what that says, just so we're all there on the same page. Okay, so garden suites and garage suites, this is under section 30 of the bylaw. They're permitted as of right in the R2 and R3 zones. There's the fenestration requirements and 13-foot separation between the main dwelling or garden or garage suite. An occupancy permit for the main dwelling on the lot must precede the garage suite, and a minimum 4-foot setback for any garden suite or garage suite. Yeah, it doesn't actually specify 1 or 2 bedrooms that can go in. Yeah, although it does sort of imply in the definition that it's a secondary suite, not suite, so it's, yeah.
You're rolling on that if you don't mind. I guess it depends on what you call it. There's 2 rooms there, and one they're calling a bedroom, and one they're calling an office or a den. Like I was in the building, this is why I'm asking, and I was amazed because I was expecting to see a trailer. I kept calling it a trailer, but when I went there, I didn't see any resemblance of a trailer. It doesn't have the understructure that a trailer has with it. The living space isn't huge. The other room that would be in the back or in the side would definitely need a place to store stuff in it,
Right.
So I would think that second room would be not a bedroom, but a storage area or an office or whatever you want to call it. So it's if I drew a plan up and I put down what each room was.
Right.
And if I put a rec room on it instead of a bedroom, then it's essentially we only have one bedroom, right?
Yeah, so if your plan only shows the one bedroom, then that's what, we'd approve. I guess these things, I mean, it's so difficult to regulate.
I understand, yeah.
Unless somebody actually files a complaint, we don't make it a habit of going around and, peeking people's windows for obvious reasons. So, how they're being used at the end of the day, it's, unless somebody actually comes forward and says something, it's impossible to know.
Absolutely, but I mean, to me, I looked at the building and this, like, my home came in two pieces, this home comes in one piece, so what's the difference? It doesn't have a hitch on it to be pulled there, like trailers do. And if you were to go in and make it on the lot, they would be built the same way, so I see no difference in either one of them.
Yeah, and actually, I'm glad you raised that, Councillor Knight, because one of the things that we are also, I guess, it's not upzoning, but I guess improving the definition of is the ability to build factory-built or modular homes. There's been I guess the old bylaws had a very strong tendency strictly towards stick-built homes, but one of the things that's coming out of the housing crisis that we're in is the knowledge that a lot of factory-built homes, which these days can look a lot like single dwellings, like the design that they put on them, is something that we should be looking at allowing.
I mean, you can go on Amazon right now, and you can get a home ordered in from Amazon, and you can flip it up. I mean, it's amazing, and put it together, right? And no different. Well, the home that they're proposing has 6-inch walls. It has a home structure. You wouldn't know the difference that it was which way it was built.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's just. I think folks sort of in established neighborhoods don't necessarily, and they're probably not familiar yet with what factory-built homes can be like, and I think they're afraid of maybe just getting a whole series of mobile homes, because that's the impression in their minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Roland, from what I understand from you is that there's nothing in any of our bylaws that specifically asks for a 1 or 2 bedrooms per se.
That doesn't specifically state it, no.
So from my understanding right now is that we can remove that when we approve it next time out, because I see that everybody's on board. Okay, thank you.
So how does council feel about the 48-foot requirement?
I have no issue with the building that they're proposing to put on the land.
51?
Just for clarification, the building that you're proposing, was that at 57 feet? It's 51. 51, okay.
I don't have a problem with that. How's the rest of
Do you
the
make
council
motion?
feel?
You don't make a motion here, do we?
So what will happen is you will just
Go to
hear it and you will
council.
do that at the council meeting.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Just for the future, I think the policy should be 48 feet, and anything above 48 feet needs to go through a variance of sort.
So clarification, you wanted 48 in the bylaw.
Yes.
So that will mean, if you're approving this particular case, that would have to be done separately.
Correct.
Okay.
Everyone okay with that?
That makes sense.
And can you explain what the variance process is quickly for the benefit of the gallery?
So variance is just a request brought to the planner, and it is brought forth to council. They consider it, and it's simple as a motion.
Yeah. And actually, when a variance is put forward, I have to send notices out to all property owners within 100 feet. And actually, if there's no objections, then it doesn't even have to go to council if there's no objections. It comes to council. If there is an objection and appeal is filed, then council can make any decision that the development officer can. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like we're on the same page.
Thank you.
Do we have the same siding in that list of?
Yes, it has to be same color siding.
Thank you. Okay, so, do we need to take a motion on the,
Nope, you just, unless there's more, anyone else that would like to speak on it.
is there anyone else who'd like to speak on it? Okay. Just
Oh, this isn't council meeting, Linda.
No, no, I wanted to ask a question.
for land use bylaws?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, my apologies.
That's okay. I'm Lynn McDonald, and I'm one of the owners of Backstage Brewing. I apologize for coming in late, and my first question is for Roland. When you were talking about the zonings on this property, you used, there was one that had about 4 letters to it.
Oh, the FRA.
Yeah, what's that mean?
That's a future
Sorry,
redevelopment.
Roland, you have to come to.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, I'll sit next to it. I just realized I'm wearing a shirt from the competition.
Well, we buy from them too,
That's
so.
right, exactly. I know it's all good, yeah. All right, so the future redevelopment area, that's the wrong glasses. Lost it. Huh? Oh, there they are, thank you. Thank you. So this area here,
Okay, yeah.
yep, so you got that used to be the future redevelopment area. It was like a special zone,
Oh, yes, okay,
and it included a lot of the houses
right,
in and along that side of Ford Street.
okay,
That zone was only in effect in Stellarton
Right.
and in an area of New Glasgow, kind of down around the old Maritime Steel property.
oh, yes,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
So it's not something that was ever in effect in Westville.
Oh, no.
In case that's
Yeah.
why you might be asking.
No, I just never heard that reference to that kind of a zoning before. I was wondering what it was.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right, because it was unique to that area in Stellarton and an area in New Glasgow.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, thank you very much.
No problem.
Is it premature to ask council and the mayor and the CAO, the Department of Mines that's right across from our building, is that land going to be turned over to the town?
We don't know at this point, but it could be.
Okay,
I think it's probably likely, would you say?
It's likely, but we haven't.
right,
It's likely, but no official word.
okay. So then if that happened, what would be the plan that you would?
We don't have a plan at this point.
Okay, okay.
Because we don't own it.
But it would go through a planning process, right? If it was developed?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, great, thank you very much.
I think one of the things that would be pointed out, there is issues there with mining, undermining
Oh, yes,
in that area.
It is.
It'd be
right,
hard to build on. You need
Yeah.
geotechnical surveys before you
yeah,
build on it.
yeah. Oh, yes,
Yeah, there's areas you can't see on these maps, but they're on separate maps.
Right.
I'll talk a little bit, but they show areas of previous underground mining activity
Yes,
and the
yes.
proposed subsidence, so.
yes, yes, right. But we checked our property out before we bought it, and we're okay.
Good,
Yeah,
excellent.
we're on the right side of the street.
That's right. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roland.
Thank you.
And I think we're done with the public hearing. Just a motion for adjournment, please. Thank you, Councilor Pence. The public hearing is adjourned. Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Town of Stellarton Council meeting, October 15th, 2024, 5:30 PM start time, 5:32 PM start time here in the council chambers. First item is to approve the agenda. Is there any change or additions to the agenda?
I have two additions, Your Worship. The first one being the salt hall tender.
Okay,
And the second is the Certificate of Recognition Service Award, 10 years for Councillor Simon Lawand, which I'm having second thoughts about.
Tell me how you really feel now. Don't hold back. Don't hold back.
so we'll move, is there any other changes or additions? Okay, so. Thank you. Seconder? Moved by Councillor Knight, second by Councillor Pence. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Contrary minded, motion carried unanimously. Thank you. We'll make certificate of recognition number 4. I'll make reports from staff 5, correspondence 6, committee of the whole 7. Then we'll put salt tender as 8. Then 9 for second reading, 10 for second reading, 11 for open forum, and so on. So, approve the minutes from September 9th, 2024. They're attached. They're also distributed electronically in the errors or omissions.
I second.
Moved by Councillor Pence, second by Councillor Wand. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Contrary minded, most carried unanimously. Thank you. Is there any business arising from the minutes? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to certificate of recognition. So I'll just give us a quick read. This is from the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities. Certificate of recognition presented to Councillor Simon Lawand, the Town of Stellarton, in recognition of 10-year dedicated service to municipal government in the province of Nova Scotia. This recognizes a significant contribution to the institution of local government. It further acknowledges a commitment to the philosophy, goals, and activities of the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities, but in the year 2024. So I'll hand this over. We get a picture, maybe. Congratulations to Councillor Lawand. We'll move on to number 5, which is reports from staff for July and August. The first is Chief Mark Hoback, Stellarton Police Service. We had a police commission meeting last week, I believe it was, 2 weeks ago maybe. This was reviews. Any questions or comments on his report?
Just to update the council now, we have 3 officers on shift. They hired on a few more to fill in, so we have a full complement.
At the last police commission meeting, we swore in 2 new officers. Yes, please.
We have two new officers to the Town of Stellarton, one being Constable Jordan Wheeler and the second one being Constable Christian Ironside.
Thank you. Do we have a motion for that one?
I'll make a motion to accept the report.
Thank
I'll
you.
second that.
Moved by Councillor Knight, second by Deputy Mayor Campbell. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded. Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. 5B is Fire Chief Michael Sullivan, the Fire Department's report. I'd like to thank the Fire Department for attending the Battle of Britain ceremony on in September. They were all in their dress uniforms, and we really appreciate them being there. So, any other questions or comments on the report?
I just want to compliment the fire department on the great job they did in saving the neighborhood up there on Canby Avenue.
Yeah, there was a significant structure fire to a house at the top of Canby Avenue, and the quick response helped keep it contained as much as possible.
I make a motion to accept the report.
I'll second that.
So moved by Councillor Knight, seconded by Deputy Mayor Campbell. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded, most carried unanimously. Thank you. 5C, Page Draper Market Communication reports attached. A couple things I'll mention. We made some upgrades to our playgrounds. There's some new equipment that'll be in place by the spring. A couple of small fire engine digi-riders are called, and that's for the River Street Park and the Pleasant Street Park. Volleyball, badminton, multi-use net has been ordered over the summer. That's for the Pleasant Street Park. That'll be put up in the spring. And 3 replacement parts for damaged park equipment have been ordered. So the main slide, the Allen Park is currently not able to be accessed. We're replacing that with some new parts or a new slide, and also some other pieces for the Pleasant Street Park as well. So just want to bring those people's attention. Also, we have equipment loan program, the Town of Stellarton. The e-bikes are part of the equipment loan program. They're being used pretty significantly by residents of the town. So I want to let everyone know about that opportunity. And on September 18th, myself and Paige attended the 50th Annual Nova Scotia Provincial Volunteer Awards in Truro. We were there with our Volunteer of the Year award, Sandra Ice, and that was a really nice server and really nice event that we were proud to attend. Any further comments or questions on the report?
Yes, I would really like to thank Paige on the tremendous work she did on recreation this year. It's noticed, to say the least. We've had some lack of things in the last couple of years, and Paige picked it up in 1 year, and she kind of covered the last 2 or 3. So I really appreciate it, and there's a lot of things coming to the recreation that we're very excited about, and hopefully we'll continue, build little by little. We don't have to do everything all at once, but that was a very good start. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Councillor Luan. I think the council agrees with that, and we could let Paige know about her. Thank you for that.
I'll move the report, Your Worship.
And I'll second.
Moved by Councillor Pence, second by Councillor Wand. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried unanimously. Thank you. 5D is Blaine Murray, Town Engineer. Just wanted to mention the Public Works report. The capital projects have been pretty much completed. Claremont is done now. The final lift of asphalt was put on. And St. Bernard Street, the sidewalk's almost completed. And Kirk Avenue is getting very close to completion. The rest of the stuff is done. Any questions or comments on the reports from the engineer?
Just to point out that the sidewalks in Lords are being done by in-house. Our guys and girls are doing a great job.
They're doing a good job. The residents up there say how good it looks, how good a job they're doing. And we do have a good crew, especially for concrete laying. They're really good at that. So thank you for bringing that to our attention.
I'll move the report as written, Your Worship.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Moved by Councillor Pence, second by Councillor Knight. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 6 is correspondence, 4-H Club.
Yes, we have a thank you to the Town of Stellarton from Alexandria from the 4-H Club. We had made a donation to the 4-H Club under the annual grants.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to thank her for the note. Correspondence B, Municipal Affairs and Housing.
Yes, this was received on October 7th to all the mayors and wardens from Honorable John Lohr, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Dear mayors and wardens, I'm very pleased to inform you that the Department of Municipal Affairs and Housing is launching the new Growth and Renewal for Infrastructure Development Program, GRID, to honor our provincial commitment made through the renewed service exchange agreement with municipalities. This $15 million annual funding program is designed to support projects that address housing sustainability and growth through infrastructure investments in water, wastewater, and storm water management, while also providing opportunities for climate change adaptation and accessibility improvements. Funding may also be leveraged alongside other cost-sharing infrastructure programs, providing the flexibility sought by municipalities. More GRID program details will be sent to your administration staff later this week. We are aware of the pressing needs of our municipalities and affirm our commitment to utilizing and investing every available dollar to support our communities today and in the future. I look forward to our ongoing efforts together to enhance the quality of life in our communities. Just it's for your information.
Thank you, CEO. Your Worship, just a question. It says here the more detail will be sent to our administrative office staff later this week. This was sent on October 7th. We are the 15th now. Did
I
you
haven't
receive-
received anything to date.
We have not. Okay, so I'm hoping that we're going to try and search everything so that we can try and take advantage of that. Okay. When is this going to be closed? Do we know?
No, I have no other information.
Just trying to understand if it's going to be within this council or next council.
Probably next.
Well, it won't be this council,
Okay.
because that'll be November 12th. It'll be the-
So then it will be on the staff then to make sure that this is
Yes,
happening.
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Luan. Well, that's just for information, so we'll move on to item 7, Committee of the Whole report.
The following recommendation is for council's consideration from the Committee of the Whole meeting held on September 23rd, 2024. On recommendation of the Committee of the Whole, council approved the one truck tender received from Bruce Leasing Limited in the amount of $108,269.28 plus HST, as this was the lowest tender received.
So moved.
I second.
Moved by Councilor Pence, second by Councilor Luan. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded, most carried unanimously, thank you. Item 8 is the salt hall tender that we added to the agenda.
Yes, so town engineer submitted this to me today. Sorry for the short notice, but I would put the information on your desk. So he received 6 tenders. The results are one from DG Sons Trucking Limited for $24 per ton, Pictou County Bulk Carriers for $17.85 per ton, Elmsdale Landscaping Limited for $31.50 per ton, David Cameron Trucking Limited, $16.87 per ton, Mike Herman Landscaping for $17.39 per ton, and Roses Mobile One Enterprises for $16 per ton. He recommends awarding the tender to the low bid from Roses Mobile One Enterprises.
I move to accept the engineer's recommendation, the lowest bid.
I'll second that.
Moved by Councilor Knight, seconded by Deputy Mayor Campbell. If there's no further questions, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary minded, motion carried unanimously, thank you. So now we'll move on to item 9, I believe it is. Second and final reading of the proposed intermunicipal planning strategy.
Do you want me to read that?
Yes, please.
Be it resolved that Stellarton Town Council adopts the intermunicipal planning strategy, Town of Stellarton secondary planning strategy, and common uniform land use bylaw as outlined under the Municipal Government Act of Nova Scotia for the towns of Pictou, Stellarton, and Trenton. Be it further resolved that a public hearing was held at 5 p.m. October 15th, 2024 at the Stellarton Town Council chambers to consider any comments, objections, or submissions with respect to this application.
So do you want to put on the record the changes that we talked about?
So the changes that council,
That would be for the one bedroom.
for the one, correct?
Yes.
A 48-foot mobile home can be used as a garden suite. It's with the conditions of one bedroom, 2015 or newer. It's done by an approved builder with concrete base or screw jacks and no skirting, and cannot be used as a rental or an Airbnb.
Yeah,
Same color siding.
if we can.
And same color siding, my apologies.
Now, what about the exception for the family here?
That's a different motion.
Okay, all right.
So, but we discussed also that the one bedroom would be struck from everyone, not only for this family.
It's 48 feet, yeah, so you would.
48 feet is for everyone, but I'm talking about the one bedroom. We also discussed that it would be struck for everyone as well.
Correct,
The
yes.
requirement, okay.
Yes, it is, that's,
Thank you.
Okay, and the residents here tonight can, as we discussed, apply for a variance.
correct.
Okay, are we done discussing this? Are you ready for the
I so
question?
move.
Moved by Councilor Luan, second by Councilor Pence. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded, most carried unanimously, thank you. Item 10 is the second and final reading for donation land to the Stellar Memorial Community Center Association.
Be it resolved that the Town of Stellarton Council approves the donation of land, PID number 00943407, to the Stellarton Memorial Community Center Association as outlined under the Municipal Government Act of Nova Scotia. Be it further resolved that a public hearing was held at 5 p.m. October 15th, 2024 at the Stellarton Town Council chambers to consider any comments, objections, or submissions with respect to this donation.
So move, your worship.
Do we have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Moved by Councilor Pence, seconded by Councilor Knight. If there's no further questions or comments, then all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded, most carried unanimously, thank you. I'll move on to item 11, which is the open forum. Does anyone like to speak at the open forum?
Just press the button on there, Lynn. Just press the button. Yep, no, you need to press it. There, okay.
You're good.
You don't have to hold it on.
No.
No, okay. As I stated earlier, my name is Lynn McDonald, and I'm with Backstage Brewing. I'm one of the owners. And I wanted to bring to your attention tonight my concerns about small business and the burden of municipal taxes. I know the Property Valuation Services is owned by the municipalities of Nova Scotia, and different times we have appealed our assessment to no avail. Our assessment this year went up $19,000, although we've made no changes. And so we have a tax bill of $8,200. And if I may, that is a very steep tax bill for a small business like ours. We are basically a bootstrapping business, which means we put all our money into it. We did not get any funding to build the building or to build the business. Now, during COVID, which was a very tough time for all business, we did take financial assistance from the federal government, and that money had to be paid back within certain time frames so that you could take advantage of the forgiveness part of that loan. So it's been very tough for us the last couple of years. Now, we love our location. The community has been so good to us, and not only in Stellarton, but all Pictou County and different parts of Nova Scotia. We get a lot of tourists in to Backstage, and a lot of them from Great Britain and Germany, two good beer drinking companies or countries, and they love our beer. So we take that as very significant. I'm just wondering what council can do, and I don't know, and I'm not saying this rudely, but does anyone on council own a business? No? You do? So you can appreciate what we're dealing with, especially the last 2 years. We started in 2017, and we were doing very well until COVID hit. And then at that point, all we had was our brewer working. He was doing everything. He was making the beer, he was delivering it, everything that needed to be done to keep our doors open. So just now, we are getting back to where we were pre-COVID. But last year, our tax bill was $6,300. This year, it's $8,200. And, you know, that's steep for us. We're committed to helping the community any way we can. We sponsored a hockey team one year, and we always donate to the Stellarton Homecoming Baseball Series. You know, my belief is, well, small business is good for business. And Stellarton has been very fortunate in that you've attracted a lot of big box business to the town. And that certainly must help with, you know, balancing your budget and things like that. Is it too much to ask, how much of a bounce did you get from the rise in assessments as per the taxes? Is that an unfair question?
No, it's not an unfair question. It's public knowledge. Our budget is on the website. So anything you can see what we get commercially and what we get residentially.
No, but like, did
That would be from last year, though, right? And this assessment would have been this year, and we won't know until we do the budget next year to understand what the difference is going to be.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't know that. I understand that. Okay, great. Because I was wondering, like, say you were up $20,000 because of your commercial assessments were up enough to give you that much of a bounce. I know, and you know that I had served on Westville Council for 12 years, so I certainly understand how municipalities need tax money. But let's keep small business going. You know, it is tough for us, and we need support, and we need support from the municipality. You know, if there's some kind of tax break you can do for us, if you could create like a bid center, you know, that would designate certain properties in the bid center, and we could work through that to get relief, tax relief for small businesses. And I don't know how many small businesses there are in Stellarton. You know, like I could name businesses, but I don't know if those businesses own the building that they're in. you know, but we do own our own building. Local government has a direct impact on us, and that is a steep, steep tax bill, a big increase from last year. So I guess what I'm saying is food for thought. Perhaps council could convene a committee of small business owners to work with council to come up with suggestions on how we could be helped. You know, I would certainly be willing to work on that. But I did want to bring that to council's attention, that what's going on with small business. If you look around Pictou County's losing small businesses. You know, the Monarch is closing, Sailor's Galley's closing. Somebody told me Tim Hortons in Exit 21 may close. You know, so it's kind of getting to be a widespread thing that small businesses are going under. And, you know, it's not just municipal taxes, it's the cost of everything, as we all know, but taxes obviously are significant for our business and the size of our building. So thank you for listening. I don't know if I made my points very well.
Yes, you did. Thank you, Lynn. Your
But,
worship.
really, I would be very happy to work with council on this issue. And if you can find any relief for us, it would be more than appreciated. I promise you. Thank you.
Your worship, I know that we're not supposed to talk in the open forum back and forth, so I'm just going to speak in open forum, if that's okay with you. I do agree with Lynn on this, and as she said, small business is the backbone of the economy. I think I read somewhere that they represent 70 to 80% of all businesses or more. One thing I want to remind everyone is that, yes, the revenue do go up, but also does the cost. And a big example of that would be the project, for example, on Claremont, where we budgeted $800,000, end up paying $1.8 million. So I understand where the need for balance. Bearing in mind that the only thing that I can think of right now would be to lower commercial taxes, which would not be a very easy thing to do financially on the budget. But I do agree that we should explore anything that can be done in the future, and that would be for the next council, and that would be for staff to bring it in for the next council for discussion and for hopefully committee, as Len has suggested. Thank you.
Your worship, could I point something out? Paige Draper, sorry, she's married now. She's our communications and marketing strategist. She's been trying for the last 3-4 years to get these small businesses in this town to come together to form an association
Business
that she
Advisory
could work
Committee.
with them.
Business Advisory Committee.
Yeah. So
have
we have reached out to the small business, and we have tried to ask the small business to get involved, but there was no appetite there for it.
In response to that, we have not been contacted, and we have worked diligently to be a part of the community. Every homecoming, we would love to participate, but we're the new kid on the block, and it's tough. You all know what it's like when you come to a new community, especially small communities. It's tough to get your feet in the door. You know, I feel that providing goods and services as provided by small businesses stimulate the economy. So, you know, we need them. The community needs them. They need the big box stores too, but they need small business. And that's employing people in our community, keeping them in the community, attracting people to the community. So I think it's something that needs to be looked at by council. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, and thank you for being part of the business community in Stellarton. I know whenever I drive by, especially on weekends, it seems like it's really a busy spot, and I hear lots of positive reviews about it, so thanks for being a part of the Stellarton business community.
May I say goodbye to you and congratulations
Thank
on
you.
your next move?
Thank you.
This is your last meeting, isn't it?
My last full council meeting, yes.
Well, I hope they're having cake later. Okay, we'll blame Susan for that.
Thank you, Lynn. Next council meeting is anyone else like to speak at the open forum? Okay, next council meeting is Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. As Lynn mentioned, I'll be swearing in the new mayor at that time. And just like to say, it's been a pleasure working the last 8 years with this council. It's been the same council for 8 years. I think we got a lot of stuff done, and we provided good governance to the town of Stellarton. So thank you all for being part of this council. And, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to echo Lynn's as well, comment. Good luck on your new adventure.
Thank you.
It'll be exciting, and you know where we live, so remember us.
Of course.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Councillor Warren. With that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn, please. Thank you, Councillor Pence. Meeting adjourned.